Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 3 of 40 Something Podcast. I'm Trevor Shafer, and joining me, my hetero life mate, Jerry Mullen.
Yeah, Trevor's the guy I see more than my wife.
I don't know if I don't see you more than my wife. I talk to you more than my wife.
You're right. I do. Let me do that. I talk to you more than I talk to my wife.
Yes. If you ever looked at my text history, it's going to be like 3 pages of your number and like half a page of my wife.
Yeah, that's exactly how mine is. That's in between all the pictures.
Yeah.
That we back and forth for a couple of weeks, and links to articles that we find throughout the week. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing the show a week early this week because next Saturday's St. Patrick's Day, and I will not be of sound mind and body by this time next week. So
let's see, 9:45 on St. Patty's Day. You'll be lucky if you remember your name.
Oh, you know what? Listen, I go down there about 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Wait, AM or PM?
PM.
Okay.
Yeah. I was at the Scranton St. Patrick's Day parade today.
God bless you.
Why not? It wasn't bad because I was in it.
Okay.
Okay, with my daughter, but yeah, I saw that there's a whole area right when you pull into Scranton. It's like nearly across the street from the station, and there is just nothing but a fenced-in area of porta potties, tents, and alcohol-infused whack jobs. It was unbelievable. I never see people like that. Like the open carry law in Pennsylvania. I mean, the open container law.
They throw that away on parade day. No, they just.
That's gone the week of St. Patrick's Day. From now until Saturday, it'll be like, I could probably drive down the street with a Miller Lite in my hand, go waving to the cop like this.
Well, the cops actually go through the parade in Scranton, and they actually hand out cups so people don't carry cans and bottles to hurt someone with. I mean, it's smart, but. Yeah. So I know most of you are probably listening to this via iTunes or the site, but on the site, hopefully at the same time that this is posted, we are actually attempting to do a video version as well.
Yeah, we tried it with Growing Up Geek with varying levels of success.
Yes.
I think the peak was when we had everybody that was actually ever on it.
Yes, that was tough.
On it that night. That was a little rough for a lot of people that night. We got some dropouts, but that was a lot of fun, though, too.
Yes.
So.
But the fact that it's just always going to be the two of us, I think doing this, I'm bringing everything through OBS, and it's a lot better with just two people. We can control the bandwidth, control the size, and it's not turning into a huge clusterfuck.
Yeah, I would say if we were going to add if we ever had a guest on the show, we'd keep them on audio.
Yeah, I think so. Well, in between the two pictures, which you'll understand if you're watching the video, we'll just put a still of them up there.
Yeah. Remember my brother wanted to do that instead of actually he wanted to put a still of himself up?
I remember the argument with your brother that he didn't want to use his real name on the podcast. I'm like, what are you trying to hide?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, that's an after show.
Yeah.
That's an after show conversation. So, all right. So, what kind of? Well, I gotta ask you because I've been waiting all week to ask you this question. How was Ion Maiden?
I'm glad you asked that because up until about an hour and a half ago, I played a whopping 10 minutes of it.
Oh, okay.
So I actually sat down, played it for about 25 minutes, and oh my God, is it hard? It's good, but it is hard. It's very much. I would equate it more to Shadow Warrior, the original Shadow Warrior, than I would Duke. In the graphics, in the gore level, I mean, there's just gibs everywhere when you shoot someone, and there are some definite improvements upon the build engine. One is
I would hope so. 20 years later.
Well, there are some really cool lighting effects they're doing with the sprites. Like in the first level, I shouldn't say first. Well, so far that I haven't beaten, I guess you could say, the first board, because when you go through it, you'll get a point, it'll stop, you'll get a loading just across the screen, and you move on. So I don't know if you count that as a section or a board.
Is that like Halo, where you'd hit the section and then it would load, checkpoint, and then keep going?
Kind of like that. Yeah.
I would consider that the first level.
Okay. So in that, you have the staircases, and the staircases are lit by a light, but it's all sprites. But the way they did the lighting in the sprite, it actually looks like actual real lighting, because they were able to tone down all the sprites around it. So I think just because they're using more memory this time, that they're able to put in probably
It better with needing 2 gigs of RAM.
well, I'm saying there's a probably tripled or quadrupled the amount of sprites easily of what they have in there in texture maps, so they could do different lighting effects like that without using any kind of OpenGL renderers or light boxes or anything that was not in the original build engine. The
Oh,
the other big improvement is, well, another improvement on the sprites is the fire looks absolutely fantastic.
yeah. You know what though? Somebody who I watched a review about this, I think that might be either the one I sent you. There's another guy who did a review about it. It says all build engine games have beautiful fire effects.
Yeah.
And that's true. If you think about Blood and Shadow Warrior and Duke 3D, and well, they're the good ones.
Yeah.
Because we can't count Witch Haven 1 and 2 or William Shatner's Tech Wars
No,
as
let's
actual
not go
games. But the fire effects, I think Blood's fire effects were the best ones.
They are very good, yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit they are really good. But
And the last big thing I've noticed so far is the hit detection on the enemies. So if you do body shots, typically it takes say 4 or 5 rounds to drop it. There's headshots though. They actually detect a headshot.
I love that. I'm telling you, that's how I get through first-person shooters anymore. I just start capping people because it's a lot easier than trying to take them down the hard way. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I found out the hard way. You start off with a pistol, and it's a revolver. But like a true revolver, you get 6 shots, then you have to go through the reload animation. So I'm just throwing round after round into these enemies who are absolutely ruthless. The AI is actually very good on them. And then I just happened to hit one accidentally in the head the first time, and he just dropped. I'm like, son of a. So I started doing that with all the enemies. They're coming out. I'm like, holy shit, there's headshot detection on this. That's awesome.
That's, like they said that the original Duke Nukem 3D, I wouldn't say the original, but the Duke Nukem 3D, the bosses had varying levels of damage depending on where you hit them. Like obviously the head was the most effective, where the feet weren't or whatever like that. But it's not coded correctly. In fact, most of that game is not coded correctly anyway. So it's nice to see that's the evolution of that.
Yeah.
Or at least someday I'll see it. But
and one of my favorite weapons so far I've gotten, you start off with a pistol and like an electronic baton, like a stun baton. Then you move on to the shotgun, which is slow as hell. I'm really disappointed in that. Then I got the machine gun, which you play as a female protagonist in this one. So it's weird hearing the female voice. And it's great that when you pick up the machine gun, because she goes, I spray, you pray.
Well, I came to find out later that after we had, it was kind of weird because it was a little while after we had finished the last show, and the Ion Maiden is actually a prequel to a game called Bombshell that came out last year or the year before for the the major. What it was really originally was a Duke Nukem game that was they lost the rights or whatever, some kind of fucking malarkey happened there, but so they turned it into, it's like a twin stick shooter or an overhead shooter. I never played it, but it's actually a prequel to that. And that's why I said those guys from Interceptor and 3 Realms published it or whatever. That whole shit is what it is. But
one of the best things is you have these grenades, and I call them Bolden grenades. I know there actually is a I know. Yeah. See, it's video. See, you're seeing my hand inflections now
in 3D.
But you actually take the grenades and you actually bowl them like a bocce ball, and if it finds an enemy. If it actually will detect an enemy, it just automatically homes in on that enemy and blows them up. But if it doesn't detect an enemy, you can literally bounce it off 3 different walls and it won't explode, and you go up and pick it back up.
Oh, that's a win.
That is a win.
That is a win. It's like the old pipe bomb. Oh, you missed.
Exactly, yeah.
Go back and grab it.
Except you don't have to, there's been times where I've come around a corridor and there's like 4 guys there. So I'll just come right back around the corner, chuck 2 or 3 of those down the corridor. They automatically find the enemies, and sometimes you could take 2 or 3 out with one of them. Which is pretty sweet.
That's a win. That's a win.
And the first level, the first part of it, it's all inside. Then you move on through the second level, a la Duke 3D. You have to climb right through a air vent, kind of like John McClane. Then you come out, and it's basically like a post-apocalyptic city you're in then. and I haven't got much of the storyline yet, but it's actually quite interesting. But I would definitely say it leans more heavily on Shadow Warrior than it does Duke. But no, I don't regret the purchase. I can't wait to hop back in there and play some more now.
Yeah, I can see why you would say it's actually Shadow Warrior, because after watching a few videos of it, like, Shadow Warrior was the progression of the build engine, that there was so much interactive stuff in Shadow Warrior. There was a lot in Duke, don't get me wrong, and it all worked, but Shadow Warrior had vehicles and turrets and all kind of weird shit. So
and the one part you had to do the RC cars to get the key.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the progression of the engine, and now it's gone even farther with guys who haven't worked on it in 20 years somehow still remember how to do that. That's a mind blower. I don't know what I did 20 years ago. I know I was working.
Oh God, 20 years ago, 1998. God, is that 20 years ago? I was working, and yeah, I was working at Sears actually. Ironically, you still work at Sears.
Yeah, ironically, yeah, I still do.
You know where I wouldn't want to work right now?
I was going to bring it up too.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. No, Toys R Us. It's the last cool place for an adult child to go.
So Toys R Us, they're saying within the next 2 weeks they may close every U.S. store in bankruptcy liquidation. Oh God.
Oh, that's so painful. You know what? Like, I worked there in the 90s. Over a Christmas holiday, just like a fourth quarter kind of job, and it was a really great job. There were really nice people there. And the company was, I don't know, they were like 50-50 for their associates. I always thought it was more for the customer than anything, which is how it should be, I think, in retail. But my dad worked there in the 80s before me. And I remember, like, all the employees, like, I think it was about 2 weeks before Christmas, all the employees, after, like, they closed on a Sunday, because Toys R Us was one of those weird stores back in the day that would close at like 6 on Sunday. That would never happen now,
That is true.
Like 5 or 6 o'clock on Sunday, and all the employees and their families could come back and, like, shop at the store, but even better, they could play with everything in the store. They didn't care.
We used to do that at Sears. It used to be, Family and Friends night. It was right around Christmas time, and I know we always we always used to have to stay, and it was just always packed. So,
yeah. But you'll hear it's like 1987. I remember, or 1986 or whatever, and the Nintendo is out at this point. And I remember they had it behind those glass cases.
Oh, the whole entire row of glass cases.
Yeah, you remember that?
Right across from the board games. Yeah.
Yeah, the board games were behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the lady who was, I think she was the manager of the store. She just opened up all the glass cases for all the kids. And I stood in front of that Nintendo, I don't know how long. Probably as long as we stood in front of the N64 machines when that came out.
That was hours.
That seemed like days we were there. But yeah, you know what? It's another. But back to Toys R Us, I guess a little bit. It's another thing of e-commerce has kind of crushed a major retail. If you weren't a retailer that got on the bandwagon of online, you're not gonna make it in this day and age.
Because online you have you don't have nearly as much overhead as a store, because you're basically you're running a warehouse, you're employing people to pick, people to load and unload trucks, and that's it. And you're covering, sometimes multiple states with just one single warehouse, where you're not operating, say, 20 stores within the same area, each store paying rent, each store with utilities, employees, management, stock.
Yeah.
It's,
you keep it in one centralized location for a portion of the country.
Yeah.
Maybe you need 7 of them, 6 of them, 5 of them.
But I am completely guilty of that. I order everything off Amazon. I just ordered 4 things today off of Amazon. I got 1 package yesterday, 2 packages the day before. I'm getting a package on Monday and Thursday. Just a stupid shit. Like my son right now, he's big into reading Captain Underpants novels.
You know what? I think Katie has one. I mean, Katie or Megan has a bunch of them.
Well, you go to Barnes & Noble, they're $5.99 a book, which is not bad for a book. You order it off of Amazon, they're $4.40. So when you add that up, for every 3 books you buy, you get one for free, basically, by ordering through Amazon.
And you now have all witnessed Trev's cheap side.
Absolutely.
You'll witness mine probably later in the day. So I am just as cheap.
But
I would have found that for $4.30. I'd have drilled. I probably would have went to a used bookstore and bought them. That's what I would have done.
There's none around here.
Oh, there's plenty of places to get that.
Really?
Oh yeah, you get that from Sally's, or I would never.
Well, there you have to. How many trips are you going to take to find that one book when I could just make 2 pushes on my phone, add to cart, and check out, and
not when you pay
to me in 2 days.
For Sally's.
Well,
yeah, all right. Well, it's neither here nor there. So it's sad to see.
Yeah,
I was a Toys R Us kid.
Absolutely.
I think we all were.
We could sing the song right now.
Yeah, but we're not gonna.
No,
because people will see us sing it, and that's mortifying at best. So yeah, it's just sad to see, And you know what? It's like that's the last toy retailer I can think of.
That is the last dedicated toy retailer out there. Well, FAO Schwartz, but they're not nearly as big. I know they just reopened their New York location in New York City.
Toys R Us was selling their shit for a while.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at Best Buy over the Christmas season, we had a bunch of FAO Schwartz stuff there. It never sold, but it was.
Their toys are so fabulous, but just fucking toys. And thankfully my kids are out of those kind of toys, FAO Schwartz kind of toys. Stuffed animals and shit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy my kids are out of that because, there's nowhere to go and get it anymore. What really is going to be tough is, where did my Skype window go? There it goes. What's really going to be tough is, anybody I know who had kids got a lot of their stuff from Toys R Us and Babies R Us.
Yeah.
I know. I think I got my crib from Toys R Us or Babies R Us. I think it was Babies R Us. Now I think about it, but they're gonna go too.
The entire furniture set, including the crib, that's in my kids' room. Well, we don't have the crib up anymore, but the entire furniture set came from Babies R Us for.
Yeah, that's where you go for shit.
Yeah.
There's not an Amazon Babies R Us. You know what I mean? There's not an Amazon.
No, there is actually. There's an Amazon baby section.
Well, you know
Amazon has everything.
They do. You're right. I think about yeah, all right. Yeah, they do. Fuck.
The one funny thing, though, is when my wife saw that, she didn't think of my son and go, oh, my God, Jack's going to be upset. She goes, oh, my God, Trevor's going to be so upset when he sees Toys R Us. Because I go there more for myself than I do the kids sometimes.
I do, too. And you know what? I use the kids as a cover.
Yes.
to go to Toys R Us.
Guilty.
Because Megan wanted to go. This was a couple of weeks ago. She got money in a gift card for Christmas that she had never used, and we're getting into March here. And I said, you know what? We're going up by the mall. I said, why don't you go in? You'll find something to use. And she bought a Pokemon DS, whatever it is, right? I must have walked around that store for 45 minutes just looking at everything.
Yeah.
And what's sad is it might be the last time I did it.
Well, I was just at a Toys R Us. I was at the Toys R Us up in Scranton last Saturday after we went to the flea market. Because right next to that's a Joann Fabrics. It's up on that stupid little hill.
It's like Toys R Us for your wife.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all in the same parking lot. So I dropped her off. Me and the kids went there. And my son got a Nerf gun. My daughter got a Doc McStuffins. And I got a Pop Vinyl. So it's like everyone bought something at Toys R Us. And
yeah. And you have to admit that a lot of times I got good deals at Toys R Us in terms of video games myself.
Yes.
There was a lot of buy one get one half off or buy one get one free deals that I got from there, and I was always tipped off by a guy I work with who said, "Hey, you might want to go to Toys R Us this weekend. They're having blah 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 sale or whatever."
When Jack was into Disney Infinity, they would often run buy 2 get 1 free, and we'd go up there and buy 6 of them and get 2 of them for free for as much as they were.
Yeah, that's a win, man. That's totally a win. So a goodbye to maybe not. Though.
Maybe not. We don't know, but
they said within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this is going down.
And a mutual friend of ours, she's a manager at the local one. That I almost kind of want to send her a message, going, is this true?
You're gonna pick up your phone and text me that person's name.
So I'll give you a hint. We saw her at the bar 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think she's the actual store. She's either the store manager or the assistant manager.
I hope she's all right now.
So, but
I should hit her up for a Switch, Jeep.
I have a Switch.
I know, but for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for me.
Well, that's a nice segue. I was going to move into
clever
next.
segue. See,
that was very good.
I totally set you up on that one.
What do you think about the Super Smash Brothers Switch trailer?
Oh, I really liked it. It's pretty vague, though, don't you think?
It is, yeah.
The Splatoon guys are in it. It's Zelda. I mean, I almost said Zelda. Link and Mario are in it, and that's all you got.
Well, you could see Donkey Kong and you could see Bowser by the outline, but you don't know who's going to be in it.
Well, they're going to keep the 8 to 10 staple characters. They're going to do something different with the Pokemon characters, which I hate. I'm not a super big fan of Smash Brothers anymore. I used to love it, and it is a. I mean, Smash Brothers still holds a candle in the world because it's still at Evo, and it's still Melee that's at Evo.
Yeah,
this is episode 1, but it still holds up as a really great fighting game, even though it's like not a traditional fighting game. I guess it's not a one-on-one,
but it's an easier fighting game because I showed my son the trailer this morning. I saw it last night, and he kind of did it. Oh, okay, Dad, this is Splatoon. I said, no, keep watching. And he got so excited. He's like, can we play Smash Brothers on the Wii U today? I'm like, yeah, wait till your sister goes down for a nap. And after she went down for a nap, my wife took a nap too. And him and I sat there playing each other for about 45 minutes. But it's such an easy game for non-fighters to pick up.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
it's a button masher.
Exactly.
Really, it is.
We're running about 50-50 on wins. Where after that, he wanted to play on the RetroPie, and we were playing. He wanted to play Street Fighter 2. Then we moved on to Marvel vs. Capcom. Then X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and he was getting his ass kicked. I was letting him win because those are more advanced fighters. Where Smash Brothers, anyone can pick that up. It's basically, if you really want to get down to it, it's a punch, a kick, and a jump.
Block.
And block is optional in my world. It always is.
Yeah. What did Yoda say? That is why you fail.
Well,
yeah.
But that's a great game for kids.
That's a great game for kids or a crowd of adults.
Mm-hmm.
Or a crowd of kids, obviously, too. But
yeah.
A crowd of adults. I think if it was me, you, Jack, and maybe, I don't know, anybody else, because I know your wife and my wife wouldn't pick it up. Maybe Jess would. I don't know. I know Kelly wouldn't, but
she tries it. And I think the big thing, I've never been into Smash, but with the Wii U, it was actually the downloadable characters that actually got me into it. Because I didn't care. I had Brawl for when the Wii came out before it got stolen. And that wasn't bad. It was okay. But with some of the characters, like you had Ryu downloadable, Cloud Strife, Bayonetta, those were kind of more my speed characters, which were kind of fun. That got me into it. Well, my son, his favorite character now to play with is Pac-Man. And he's damn good with Pac-Man. And he's
older than Mario.
So, and he's an unstoppable machine with Bowser.
Well, yeah. You know what, though? You have to... This is what I said. When the next generation is better than us at fighting games, we've done right.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I've done right. Like, I remember I went to a friend's house about a year ago and played Mortal Kombat X against their son, and he was really good. He just destroyed me. But I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like a dick or like an asshole about losing, and I wasn't upset about it because I was like, the next generation's doing right here.
Yeah.
They're doing... I mean, I don't know. That's not like a... I mean, not that... I should take that back. You can make money on that now.
Yeah,
that's
you seriously can.
So, did we have something else about the Switch? Oh yeah, you had the video about the Labo and Labia or whatever.
Oh, the Labo, yeah,
the video about Labo.
And we talked about it last week about the YouTube channels we watch. And Tested actually came out with a Labo hands-on out in San Francisco. Nintendo had a special event, and three of the guys, Kishore, Norm, and Jeremy, and Kishore and Jeremy both have kids, and they took their kids. and they actually got to build some of the stuff. They got to demo everything. And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of sold on it. I mean, it answered a lot of questions like how the piano works, what the material is made out of, how it senses it. And while I'm probably not going to get the robot kit, which is $10 more but looks damn awesome.
Is that the one with the backpack?
The backpack and the strings, and I mean, you can pull the visor down. It brings up a first-person HUD. But the variety pack for $70, I will probably get that because, I mean, the fishing game looked awesome. The motorcycle game, there's a driving game. The house looked kind of stupid. The piano looked really cool, and just little things like that. And they said not only is everything pretty sensitive to the point that it's like there's no lag or anything, but the cardboard is so heavy duty that they even said they were afraid that how long is this cardboard going to hold up? And they said the way they constructed it and the kind of cardboard they're using, this stuff is sturdy, that it's not going to fall apart in a week or two. And that kind of sold me on it as well.
You know, it looks really neat, and the technology behind it is it's Nintendo classically taking simple things and turning them into something spectacular. Like famously, the Wii U controller. You know, I mean, they took some gyroscope, whatever it was, and a few other things, and they made something awesome out of it. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing here with cardboard. Which I wonder how many of those Labos are recycled Wii U boxes. I'd like to ask that question. That never got sold.
Oh, burn! Serious burn.
So that would have been a Price is Right fail sound moment.
Yes.
Anyway, so
but anybody who I sent it to you, and I know you're not totally sold on it still.
I see it as just a little silly. It really looks to me like Nintendo said, "Watch this. I bet you we could sell this to people." You know, and Miyamoto could do that though. He can.
Yeah.
He's one of the few people, and that Reggie Fils-Aimé, the president of Nintendo of America. Yeah. Those guys could just go in front of the camera and say, "Hey, you know what? We're going to sell you guys folded cardboard, and you're going to buy it." And everybody's buying it. You know, everybody wants it now. That's how I see that.
Plus, I mean, Nintendo's reputation has actually kind of been solidified by the Switch. The fact that it is selling tons and tons of units. They're getting first and third party support. That if they tried this with the Wii U, I guarantee they would have sold 10 units.
Well, I think you would have got a couple hardcore collectors just picking it up, and they're the only ones that would have bought it.
Yeah.
You know? We would have found it at a Goodwill for $1 a year from now. Yeah. You know?
People are shipping eBay stuff in Labo boxes.
Wait, that could still happen.
That is true.
So,
but go on YouTube, look up, just do a search for Tested, and actually you could even do Tested Nintendo Labo, and it's not a long video. It's like 18 minutes, and it's pretty fascinating.
It is.
It's informative. I like that.
All right. Well, we're still on Nintendo. There's a whole list of games coming out for the Switch that I sent you during the week. And the one that first off that really blows my mind that's coming out for the Switch and is actually coming out for the Xbox is Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy.
I'm happy about that.
How pissed off Sony is to see this go to another platform.
Yeah.
This was the game that made Sony's PlayStation. Yep. You know, it was like the first mascot they ever had.
Sega had Sonic, Nintendo had Mario, Sony had Crash.
Crash Bandicoot. And Crash Bandicoot games are good.
They're good.
Always good. Yeah. You know, I would like to pick this up, and now Jack can play it now.
Absolutely. Well, he's played the first one on the RetroPie. And he likes it. But again, you're talking an 8-year-old in 2018. He's like, "Oh, Dad, these graphics kind of suck."
Yeah.
I want to backhand them.
I know. like my daughter wanted to leave my older daughter wanted to leave the parade today because her phone was dead. I was like, God. Guess what? Guess what's not happening?
Yeah.
No. Whose fault it is you didn't plug it in before you went to bed?
Well,
not mine.
You need to get these. These are all charging bricks. I even use them for the kids' tablets sometimes. And
No, I would prefer her just to take care of it.
That's
All right. So anyway, let's see. All this stuff coming out for Nintendo. Okami's coming out again. That's like the third release of that game.
yeah.
That was on the PS2, I think it was. I have to look that up, but I think it was.
No, I don't think there was game. It was Wii U. But I think Okami was always Nintendo. I don't think it came out for anything else.
Okay.
Because famously for that, if you don't remember, when it did come out for, or was it? I'm almost positive it was the Wii was the first one. That the cover for it actually had an IGN watermark. Someone actually used an image of the cover from IGN to print it.
Get ready to be wrong.
Why?
Because its original platform was the PS2 and the Wii.
Really?
Only to be re-released on the Xbox. Well, it's been re-released on everything since the PlayStation 3.
Wow, I didn't think it came out for the Xbox.
Yes, it did. Well, yeah, it came out for the Xbox One, not the Xbox.
Oh, the Xbox.
Original.
I didn't think it came out for the PS2.
The OG Xbox. Not many people know what that'll mean. So actually, this generation will probably know exactly what that means.
I still got my big Xbox hooked up over there.
Yeah, big is not the word.
No, it is
Duke.
I was going to say the Duke controller, which I no longer have.
Yeah, thank God. It's probably out there somewhere holding up a car, change a tire.
Actually, I never had one. I bought it when they packaged it with the S.
I think I did too. You know what? When my brother moved to Ohio, he was playing Halo 2 or some shit when he went there, so he took my original Xbox, and he will never bring it home for some reason. I don't know. I told him, I said, bring it home. I said, I could probably hook it up and make use of it. Anyway, so we're getting, obviously, like you said, the new Smash Brothers, and this whole article is about what you could get a discount on.
Yeah, I saw they're starting that. That's interesting that they're doing that. You could pre-order and get a discount.
Well, Prime's been like that for a long time. If you pre-order, you get 20% off, but you have to pre-order.
Yeah,
that's the deal. Like I got, I think Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, or Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, whatever the most recent one. I think I got that way, and I definitely got the Assassin's Creed for my brother for Christmas that way too. But let's like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Do we really need an HD upgrade of this?
Yeah.
Or well, like Dark Souls, everybody want to go on to play that. I don't get it.
I never understood it. I mean, I know they're all kind of hyped about it because they're hoping that maybe they'll go through the Dark Souls trilogy because that's the first one they've remastered. But I'm not a big fan of remastered games sometimes.
It's hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
If it's remastered, but it's this. Let me just say this: if it's just an upgrade to the graphics on a newer system, but it's the same game,
yeah, I'm
okay with that. When you remaster it and add content, that's a new game.
Yes, I will agree with you there.
You know, and here's the perfect example: it's Splatoon 2 version 3.0.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that. What? Hyrule Warriors, the definitive edition. I guess. I don't know what they're doing there. Hey, but it's anyway. While we're still on Nintendo, let's talk about what today is.
Today is Mario Day.
But today's Mario Day. It's March 10th. Now it said the article I sent you said he was going to be on Google Maps. I intentionally used Google Maps today to see this. It wasn't on there.
Not on there.
No, I was really pissed about it too because I was coming home from Scranton, and the back of Scranton I don't know Scranton that well. I know it at a point, and I could get to the cultural center and the mall, which I don't even know if that's open anymore. I don't think it is. I know that area of it, but when you get back into the rural area of it, I don't know. So I'm like, it's Google Maps. It's Mario Day. Yeah. I put up nothing. I was really upset about that. Actually, I was going to try it now to see if it'll come up. Maybe it's on the
desktop site.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, hold on, I was driving. Let's see if I do the directions to work.
Why would you do that?
Well, it's. I don't even know why it's on. I don't even know why it's on there. To tell you the truth. Oh wait, here. Oh, here it is. Let's go. But it's still her voice. I want to hear that. What a chip. Exit. All right. Oh, well, at least it worked. And actually, there's a if you look at it on your phone, there's actually like a coin block.
Oh, really?
That you hit, and that activates the Mario thing.
Oh, that's
up.
check
That's
that out.
Be up all week. So I'm gonna randomly drive fucking places with Mario this week. I don't know. So that's pretty neat. This is a very Nintendo-centric show this week. So
well, while we're talking about Mario, I came across a video last night, and I sent it to you last night. The new world record holder for beating through a speed run the original Super Mario Brothers was 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And someone, now, again, 4 minutes and 55 seconds, they made almost a half-hour video breaking down the science, the math, and the theory behind how he got that new world record. And holy shit, I always thought a speed run was just you memorize the level, okay, you do this jump, then you got to know the quickest way. There is some goddamn serious math involved when you're talking frame sets and different frames and hitting at a certain pixel at a certain time. And
yeah,
damn,
that blew my mind. You know what I mean? When you sent me this video, I watched about the first 5 minutes of it, and then I had to get into being a parent or whatever like that. But I made sure I actually went back to it because it was like, well, it was Mario, and it was fascinating to me, and it's video games, and that's what I do. But to find out like you could bypass the flagpole without dropping the flag.
Yeah.
I never knew you could do that. Like, I've jumped the flagpole. That's different, which was like a schoolyard thing before we found out it was actually real. But there was always the one in the speedruns that I didn't understand, like at 4-2. In fact, I have it on now as I've kind of watched the video a little bit in silence. But you could activate the vine to go up, and then he runs past it and goes down a pipe and ends up at the warp zone.
Because there can only be so many characters on the screen at a time. And by activating that vine, you remove the piranha plant coming out. But before that, you actually have to do a walk through a wall. Because it moves Mario further to the right in the screen. And if he's further than the right and you go down the pipe without the piranha plant, but you have to stop completely before going down, as long as he's more toward the right and not center, that pipe turns into a warp zone through. And it's like, I don't know.
Well, first off, how many years of playing does this guy have under his belt to know that would work? I'm sure speedrunners kind of steal things from other speedrunners. I'm sure it's just like anything else.
Yeah.
But it's actually, like Trev said, it's pretty mind-boggling to see how it is more technical than I thought it was. It was just like you said. I thought it was just memorization.
Well, what world was it? It was World 4-1, I think it was. That there's a certain section that you'll get through better and then do the flagpole glitch. But when you step on the first beetle, if you step on him and on the block you step on him, if the 1 pixel to the right of the beetle turns white, then that sets into motion a frame cycle, which means at the end you should be able to do the flagpole glitch. If you don't get that pixel, that means you're probably not going to be able to do it. And again, how these people figure this out. And then the other thing is, if you have to start it at a certain time because of the way the frames go, each frame set I think is 0.35 seconds.
Yeah.
And to hit on a certain frame rate, they explain how when you hit the flagpole, that it's 21 frames no matter what to get to the end, but if you hit it on exactly frame 0, you automatically get taken. If you hit it on frame 3, you got to wait 21 frames for that, as I called it, a bus to come back around. But if you start the game after a certain amount of seconds, it resets that buffer at the end where if you hit it frame perfect, you automatically go and you don't waste any frames. And I mean, my wife was making a bag last night, and her sewing machine's in our living room. And I'm watching this, and she turned around, she goes, "My God, what are you watching with all this math?" I'm like, "I'm actually watching a Mario video."
Yeah.
I never realized it was that much involved.
I would never think that in my life, like, that it got that technical.
Yeah.
And you know what? People have been chasing this for this has changed hands a lot in the last 5 years. If you keep up with the speedrunning community a little bit, if you keep up with like Speed Demos Archive or what the hell is that one I have on YouTube? Conveniently, I have YouTube up to check it. What the hell is this? I'm not signed in.
I was going to say, if I start hearing porn, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because I can't see it.
Why do porn sites have a share button? Anyway. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
But why you look for that? The one cool thing is this guy does the math at the end and gives you the theoretical top speed of a pixel perfect, frame perfect run. And it's only like 0.5 seconds slower than what this guy did. That we've almost reached the pinnacle of the human ability to play this game.
Yeah, but what's the I wonder what the record right now for a tool-assisted speedrun of it is.
I don't know.
Because this is not a tool-assisted speedrun. No. This is a regular...
This is legit, although they're allowing the glitches. Some speedruns, they don't allow the glitches. It's a full run.
I think when you watch, like, Games Done Quick, they have to say what kind of run it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, glitch run or straight run. I forget, they have a bunch of terms for it, but... I think that's what they have to do for the speed demo. Oh, the TAS video channel, the Tool Assisted Speedrun video channel on YouTube, and they probably have a website, but I'm not going to go all over all that. That's the site that's where all the Tool Assisted Speedruns are kept. At least I find, because I can tell when they're about to. You can always tell with this site when something's changed hands, because they go through and change the old video to obsoleted, and it reposts the new video. So I said, all right, any day now, a new video for such and such game is about to happen. So, yeah, but the mind-boggling amount of math.
It is. And then this morning I watched the current world record speed run for Mario 3. And you have that new appreciation now, because before then I'm thinking, okay, all the random jumps, that's just them trying to get the most speed. But once you learn that you have to land on certain blocks at certain times, and it's like you have a completely different appreciation for it now, of any speedrun really, when you're working with that kind of system, that you have to know the frame sets, the pixels, the blocks, and where the hitbox detection is. Because I never knew that. Because you've seen on speedruns where people literally jump through piranha plants and then explain that the hitbox detection is so low on the piranha plants that you can literally jump right through them if you know where to hit it.
Yeah. You know what? After we hit years ago, I had one of those garbage plug and play things they used to sell in the mall.
Remember the all-in-ones?
Yeah, the all-in-ones. And they're junk, right? Kelly wanted it because this was before HD televisions has really gotten big. And because it had Duck Hunt on it. Which, mind you, the screen was blank. When you started up, it didn't say Duck Hunt. It just had 1-player, 2-player. That's how hacked it was. But they had Super Mario Bros. On there, which it wasn't called that, but it was fucking Super Mario Bros. And I remember watching the first real speedrun video of Super Mario Bros. I had ever seen. Well, not ever seen, but I remember seeing. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try it on this plug and play. And you can really jump right through those piranha plants. That's not bullshit. I could do that. It's just, the rest of the speed run I can't do. I can jump through the piranha plants. That's about all I got.
And as many times as I've seen it, the thing that still freaks me out is when they jump right with Mario facing left. That still boggles my mind, how the hell the physics behind that.
A keyboard thing. I used to think it was that because a lot of games for the NES and Super Nintendo, and I don't know if the Genesis is true, were never designed to have left and right pushed at the same time. That fucking throws those games off. That's why you see those, like, if you ever watch a Link to the Past, for Zelda Link to the Past, there's a speed run on that. It's like 3 minutes or something. That game's like 40 hours if you do it right. Or maybe less than that, but whatever. But if you hold left and right on the keyboard, it screws the game up. I don't understand that, because you're never intended to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Wow, do we have any non-Nintendo stories?
I don't know, but I have one more Nintendo story to bookend this. It's actually just something simple that,
okay, go.
Again, holds probably a dear place in both of our hearts. I saw on Twitter. one person I follow, they posted the box art for Super Mario 3. And it was very simple tweet right next to, and it just said, best video game box art of all time.
Oh, I don't know.
But people went on in a thread to explain why. And if you read the thread, I completely agree with it. That it's a very iconic cover. You look at you could look at that picture of Mario in the Tanuki suit anywhere, and not the Tanuki suit, the raccoon. That's not the Tanuki.
It's a raccoon. Move on.
The Tanuki is the other thing. You can look at that anywhere, that image, and you know automatically it's Mario 3. The picture pretty much illustrates the joy and happiness you get from playing the game. That it shows you Mario having fun, and that's what that game is completely. It's completely fun. It doesn't make any promises that it doesn't deliver on like a lot of box art does. Look at the Atari box arts. They were absolutely works of art, and then you had 3 pixels on the screen.
They were fucking horrendous, most of them, by the way. And I love the Atari 2600. I do. That was my first gaming system.
Yeah.
I could say that, But they were like, if you look at the cover of Missile Command, the simplest probably game on the system.
And it's got this intricate oil painting and
white fucking space ball fucking helmets, shit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I know the game doesn't look like this. I was like 5, and I knew it wouldn't look like that. The game's awesome, though.
Yes. But I thought that was interesting that they said that it's kind of one of the best video game cover arts of all time. And I don't know if I agree with that 100%, but it is definitely iconic. It's one of the most iconic box arts.
I would say it's definitely, that's top 5.
Yeah.
Maybe top 10. I'll leave it at top 10. I just had this argument about something else about Thor Ragnarok, if it was like the top 10 in Marvel. People were complaining about the comedy in it. I'm like, that made it awesome.
Now, Thor Ragnarok, I would definitely do top 5.
Yeah.
My number 1, in my opinion, for Marvel, you still can't beat the original Iron Man.
You know what? Me and you've had this conversation.
I know we have.
Times. For me, it's you can't beat the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's the best thing they did. Although I've seen Black Panther, and that's a mind boggle.
I have not seen that yet.
You're gonna have to watch it. But I see, like, we'll talk about movies for a minute, I guess, because we're kind of on that subject. Yeah. They tried to make a movie about A Wrinkle in Time.
I never read the book. I've heard everything about the movie. I know nothing about it. But then I started reading the reviews. It came out yesterday, and it's not getting good reviews.
No, I watched a little bit of Angry Joe's review about it, and he wasn't kind to it. But a lot of people said that this book was not meant to be adapted into a movie. And, Disney, they're like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
But, we'll give it a shot. They'll try anything. They're on a high right now, so they could get away with it. But, like Kelly wanted me to go see that. And then we're like driving home from Scranton today, and she's like, well, what's it on Rotten Tomatoes? And I said, what does it matter?
Yeah.
If the movie's good, I don't always trust Rotten Tomatoes. I will trust certain internet reviewers with movies. I not Angry Joe. He just had one out, but there's other ones that I'll follow about it. But I said, does it really matter? She goes, well, yeah, that's what I go by. I'm like,
some of my favorite movies of all time have horrible Rotten Tomatoes scores, but they're still great movies.
Last Action Hero.
Yeah, Highlander still has I think like a 20%. I mean, hey,
it is. It's awesome.
It is, but I mean, it's like there are just certain movies that are just you don't need that Rotten Tomatoes score to go along.
No,
with it.
And you know what? They're not always right either.
No,
because I remember seeing something about how DC fans were going to really burn Black Panther because they were going to go and give it shitty reviews or whatever to bring it down on Rotten Tomatoes to ruin it. And obviously, no matter what they did, that was never going to work. So, yeah. Movies are like Disney, Marvel, whatever it is right now. It's basically the Metroplex of all things movies lately.
Yeah.
But
they own everything. I mean,
that's right. A lot of people, what did you call it? The big evil?
Yeah. The evil mouse.
Yeah, the evil mouse. You know what? They do own nearly every entertainment aspect at all times. I'm surprised they haven't tried to scoop up Netflix because they're looking at their own digital digital like streaming service.
Yeah. Well, they don't need Netflix for that because, I mean, if they pulled every single one of their properties off of Netflix, off of Hulu, off of Amazon Prime, you're going to get enough people that want to watch the Marvel movies, Star Wars, all. I mean, they own ABC, so you could take all your ABC programming and throw it on their own service, and people will pay for it if their favorite stuff is there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was like I was, you know how you on Twitter you get a poll every so often. Yeah. I don't always answer them unless I have an actual answer. But like a show I like The Librarians, got canceled. I like that show. You know, me and Kelly and the kids really loved it because there was like a lot of, you know, John Larroquette was in it, and I like him anyway. But
Dan Fielding.
Dan Fielding, yeah. He'll die as Dan Fielding.
Yes, he will.
But oh, my cats is into something out there. Fuck. Anyway, would you pay? It was like a poll. So would you pay to watch The Librarians on a streaming service? And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't go unless it was one I was kind of already paying for, just for one show. I don't think I would.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
probably hit it up on the code.
I ran into that this year with Star Trek Discovery. The new Star Trek series, only available through CBS streaming service. I'd have to pay, I think initially it was $6 or $7 a month, but I think it's $10 now, to watch this show. And I have a hard time paying that money per month for literally, you figure you break it down, that's 3 episodes a month, say solid, because not every month has 4 weeks in it. So you say 3 solid episodes per month at $10. I'm paying $3 and whatever 33 cents per episode. That's not a value to me when I can wait and go on iTunes, probably download each one for 99 cents, or get it through various other means like I have. And when you're
less than reputable sources.
Yeah. Huge gray area there. Huge gray area.
I totally agree.
But when you market yourself as an online streaming service for a particular network or a particular company, you can't make people buy into your ecosystem with 3 shows. And that's, I think, CBS's biggest problem is they have some original programming, but I don't think they have enough to bring people into that. Where Disney, they own so much shit that, I mean, I don't think they'll have a problem getting people into their service. Which is sad. Which is sad because a lot of shit is going to leave Hulu, Amazon, Netflix. But
you'd be really sad I'll be really upset when if the Marvel Netflix shows leave.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Although I did read about that they do have a contract with Netflix for that because Netflix pays for their production. They pay Disney just for the licensing.
Oh, that was a smart move by them. I wonder if they saw the writing on the wall with that one.
I don't know. So they could still say, okay, Netflix, you produce the next season of Daredevil. You pay the $30 million, and then you give us $5 million for that right to use that.
That's fantastic.
That is the smartest thing for them to do still.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to lose it after The Punisher, because The Punisher was just, holy shit, was that good.
I've yet to watch it.
Well, you've got to watch most of them as far as
no. I watched all of Jessica Jones, and I actually started Jessica Jones season 2. I loved the first season of Jessica Jones, and I watched the first episode of Daredevil. Kind of couldn't get into it yet, but that's the only one I've seen. Iron Fist, I've been told by so many people, is just a waste of time.
Iron Fist's problem is the guy who plays the Iron Fist. That's the problem with that character. And basically, it's another I'm a rich kid that got trained and became awesome or whatever like that. It's the Batman deal. You know what I mean? It's basically the Batman deal under different pretenses and in a lot darker tones.
The one I've really wanted to watch, which I just haven't had time to sit down, which is a shame because it's been out for over a year, is Luke Cage.
Luke Cage is really good.
I really liked him in the first season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, and you know what? His show is good.
Yeah.
But Jessica, I watched the first episode of season 2 of Jessica Jones, I think with dinner on Thursday night with Kelly. or whatever. It was Thursday when it was International Women's Day when that came out. That was smart marketing by them.
Yeah,
I gotta admit.
And every episode this season is directed by women directors.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if that matters or not, because as long as the story's good, I personally don't care who directs or watches it, because the story and the action has to be really good. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm pretty low level in that department, but so far the first episode, I told Kelly, I said we might have to sit here and watch the rest of these right now.
Well, I did that last night. It was about 11:30. My wife was still sewing, and I'm like, I want a snack. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and eat a snack for nothing. I'm like, I want to watch something. And I've been going through the back catalog of Black Mirror. And I'm like, should I boot up Netflix? Right there was Jessica Jones. I'm like, oh, forgot that came out yesterday. So I loaded that up instead. And I got done with it about 12:30. And I'm like, wow, that was good. And she goes, yeah. And I go, I got to stop or else I'm going to be up till 4 in the morning watching these shows. Because that's what I'm going to be doing after the cast is I'm going to hop back on and at least watch 1 or 2 more episodes of that. But
this is very few. I watch very little TV anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit that. Like, I was watching all the DC shows on the WB or whatever.
Oh, God love you.
Well, some of them are really good. You know what I mean?
There's just so many of them.
I know. There's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
I was watching The Flash, and I was watching Arrow, which I kind of fell out of. And then there was The Legends of Tomorrow. And there was another one. Supergirl. I was watching that too because she got canceled off of CBS and then pushed over to these guys, which made sense. But I was watching all of them, and then you know what? I got burned out from it. Then I started to watch Lethal Weapon, which is a really good show, by the way.
Really?
I really liked it. Yeah, I was surprised how good it was. Because I was thinking to myself, this cannot be as good as the movies, and it's not. But it's good in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of fleshes out a lot of backstory and things you never know. But I got burned out watching TV, so I watch very little like television shows anymore. Like, I watch Lethal Weapon. Now I'm gonna watch Jessica Jones. I watched Ashes vs. the Evil Dead. I love that show. It's so fucking terrible. It's so bad. It's good. And Xena's in it. Lucy Lawless is in it.
Nice.
She still looks really good. I gotta admit, Lucy Lawless still looks good. But she plays like the worst of the worst of the TV show, and oh man, it's so good. You gotta watch it. I'm surprised you don't watch it.
I saw the first episode and I just never got back to it. Unfortunately, with my schedules, sitting down for a half hour or 45 minutes or even an hour to watch a show is just not possible. That's why I'm like, I digest 10-minute YouTube videos. Well, if you send me a YouTube video that's 15 minutes or more, I'm not going to watch it for a couple days because I don't have the time.
You're just like my brother. I have to say, they got to be less than 8 minutes for John.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got time
for.
for.
8-minute clips of Ash versus the
There you go.
We'll do that. That's genius. So, all right. So let's see. What do we got left here? We got the Rubik's Cube thing. I thought that was fantastic. Did you read that article?
I did not. So you can inform me as you inform our.
There's a machine designed by the machine's called Sub 1. Somewhere in this article.
Oh, is it one of these that solves it in like 0.2 seconds? Like it just goes shh, and it's done.
Yeah. Hold on. 2 guys from Christ Almighty, where are these guys from? Who gives a shit? I'm done. I'm not looking for it again. They said the Guinness Book of World Records by solving a Rubik's Cube they built a robot to do it, obviously, in 0.38 seconds.
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling.
I mean, you literally hear the and it's done. It's
so quick. They made a GIF out of it. Like, that's how quick it is. That's fantastic. The Rubik's contraption uses a pair of PlayStation Eye cameras to analyze and calculate the solution to a mixed Rubik's Cube. Obviously, it has all kind of other very technical things that I don't know enough about to say. But it's actually almost too fast for you to see when it happens.
That is crazy.
It is. And you know what? These 2 guys, I think it's just, I'm reading here, 2 guys sat down and said, we're going to make a machine that solves a Rubik's Cube.
Faster than the human eye can see. I'm surprised the
Because,
Rubik's Cube doesn't explode. It's going
Yeah.
so fast.
Yes. You know, that's very true. I'm surprised the damn things don't break. I guess maybe they can use it 1 or 2 times. But to me, that doesn't look like a real Rubik's Cube. They have one that's kind of augmented a little to fit the machine. So, I mean, maybe I'd hate to go back to a former story. This is really terrible. With Toys R Us is going to have a lot of Rubik's Cubes available. So that's really cool. But is this a practical piece of scientific hardware?
No.
Wow. This is somebody like woke up one day and said, you know what, we're going to do this. And that's it. And these are guys with either too much money, too much time. These are the people with a 3D printer right here. These are these guys, you know.
But someone about a year and a half, 2 years ago did the same thing with a fidget spinner. Just sitting or twirling something, go, we could print one of these or make one of these, and kids would love this. And now they're multimillionaires.
And every kid you knew needed 5 of them.
Yes.
How many did Jack have?
He still has them. He was just actually playing with one today. I think he had 4 or 5, actually.
I know Kate had 5 or 6. My youngest nephew, he had about a dozen of them. Because they went from, like, you could buy them at just like retailers. Then you could find them at a gas station, a Quickie Mart, I was like, oh my God, really?
Because I bought him his first one at the end of school last year because he had good grades. So I actually ordered off of eBay. It was a custom Pikachu one. That it was all yellow, had the black grommets, but the actual finger part was actually a rubber Pikachu head. So, and then after that, it was every time we went to the mall, Daddy, can I get one? Daddy, can I get one? And the absolute best was around Christmas time. FYE had them on sale. They had a huge cart because the fad was pretty much over by then. Every fidget spinner, 99 cents.
Yeah. And now you could probably get them for 9 cents.
Yeah.
But...
So he's like, Daddy, can I get one? I'm like, get 2 or 3. I don't care. Last time we were here, I think I spent $15 on a single one because he had to have this all metal one with like these knife looking things at the end. It's like... Hell, I don't care. Load up an entire bag at 99 cents.
Yeah. That's just another line of strange children's fads.
Yeah.
That have come and gone already, I didn't get that one. Nah.
I mean, I have to admit, the one that my daughter left hers laying out. And we're watching TV, and I'm just sitting there, I had it on a TV tray, and I'm just putting my finger on top, and I'm just spinning it with my thumb, and it is kind of just not calming, but it just gives you something to do. But it's like these kids that were.
You know what? I got a lot more out of the fidget cube.
He has one of those. He got one of those for
I got
Christmas.
a ton out of that. I have it on my desk at work. So when I'm thinking, I'll be like, click, 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 and turn it and doing all the things.
So it doesn't get much use then, huh?
Fuck you.
Set yourself up for that one, my friend. Just like that.
At least I did it right.
You did.
I actually do. Fun. All joking aside, I do get a lot of use out of it. You know what I mean? I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, trying to figure out how to finish something for the day or something like that. And I'll be like, click, click, click.
I can't complain because when I'm doing that, when I'm doing something on there, I have this, the Captain Picard crystal. I just sit there and I
figured that was a Kryptonian memory crystal. All right, moving on.
Fuck you and your Superman shit.
Just saying, it looks the same.
No, this is the Captain Picard crystal from his desk that I just, you sit there and you just, flip it around in your hand. Same thing as a fidget cube or a fidget spinner. Just give your mind something to work with.
Something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm that type. Like, I can't sit, like, Kelly hates it. If we're having dinner somewhere, I can't wait that long for the food. Yeah. And that's not because I'm starving. It's because it's awkward and I want to eat. You know what I mean? I'll be like, I'm like playing with the fork, or you know what I mean? I've had 3 drinks or something like that. I just have an awkward thing about that. So, all right. One more.
Sure.
Sony's 3-player virtual air hockey table is the future of augmented reality. And if you look at this GIF that's attached to it, which I don't think there's an actual video in this article. Oh yeah, there's a regular video in this article, I think too. No, that's just a photo. Well, that really sucks. This looks really neat, and it takes the air hockey concept to.
I'm looking at it now, so I haven't looked at this since you sent it to me. So
yeah, it takes the air hockey concept to another level. It kind of reminds me of No, never mind. That's what it's. There was a game on the Nintendo called Warlords. I mean, not Nintendo, on the Atari called Warlords. That was a paddle control game. And that's what it reminds me of. Is you have to deflect the puck away from you while making sure it doesn't get past you either. If that makes any sense. No, it kind of doesn't come to think of it. But that looks really neat.
So this isn't VR; it's more augmented reality.
It's augmented reality.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think is real in this is the thing in their hand.
Yeah.
That's the only real part. So, I wish it had.
That looks intense with 3, because there's more than one puck.
Yeah,
There's
3. There's one for every color.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. The visual sensors, which can detect and track objects at 1,000 frames per second. And one sensor sits above the table to track the puck, and the other sit below to track the player's paddles. An overhead projector, meanwhile, overlays the game interface on virtual pucks.
Yeah, I'm just reading that right now. So it's actually not augmented reality. It's legit. You don't need any kind of apparatus to see this. That's kind of cool.
That is neat. I just thought this article was really neat. Plus, I was like, man, I need a quick article to wrap up this shit with. So,
although, wait, because I'm reading the article. While it's not ever going to be a commercial product, Sony has shown time and time again that its display and sensor tech can achieve a novel form of AR. So maybe this is AR. It's kind of contradictory in one part of the article than another part of the article. But that is very cool.
It's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
I think augmented reality, you're only really looking like if you the DS has it.
Pokemon Go is the best thing for that. When you play
That also
Pokemon, that's augmented reality because you see the Pokemon in front of you, even though it's not really there.
Yeah, that was also like a big battery drain, and I don't know many people.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know many people that still use that version of it. I remember the kids were walking around the house, and behind the piles of clothes that they didn't bring downstairs for the laundry was a Pikachu. I said, well, what lesson did you learn here? You could have caught him quicker. You know, I sound like an old man there, but it's true.
Hey, we are old men.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Right now, I'll show it to the camera. I'm drinking a Pepsi. I normally drink Diet Pepsi because I'm old and fat and got to keep the calories off. But I actually been buying 6-packs of these only because they have the retro logo on it. It reminds me of the 80s.
Yeah.
Only reason why I'm drinking regular Pepsi.
Some guy I work with walked in with one of them, and I said, "What'd you buy that on eBay?"
Yeah.
He goes, "No, I got it over it." I'm not sure if he knew what eBay was because he was, it was a little weird dude, but I'm sure he did. But he says, "No, they sell it at Shields or Kmart or wherever." He said he bought it, and I'm like, really? That was like the Mexican Cokes. I like them better.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, they're good.
Sorry, I'm a Pepsi man.
Well, to each his own. As wrong as you are.
Oh, my wife and I have the argument constantly.
She's a Coke person?
She's a Coke gal. I'm a Pepsi guy, and my son, he goes back and forth. Depends on what he feels like, but I'll take him to the right side eventually. That we'll teach him the right way.
No, I doubt it.
So.
Just like my wife, your wife has your nuts in a purse.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah. He's going to like Coke, and that's the end of the argument. That's what I've been told. So.
I don't think I have anything else.
No, me either, man. And this was nice and smooth.
It was.
Like the last, well, except the very, very, very first one. That wasn't smooth.
It never got posted for various reasons.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
We fucked up.
Hey, and we actually had a record this time. It only took us about 25-30 minutes to get all the technical glitches worked out with doing the whole video thing. Audio was fine. It's just this time it was video because I'm doing this on my Windows 10 machine, so the Windows 10 version of Skype, it doesn't allow OBS to take Jerry's camera and put it into the overlay because it won't allow it to capture, so I had to go find an old version of Skype through someone's OneDrive, and yeah, it works now, and we have a viable platform for this.
Yeah.
So
this is going to go to YouTube?
Yeah, I'm going to post this to my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, because if you start a new YouTube channel, you have to upload, I think it's 5 videos first to get past the 15-minute limit of an upload.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
So I have. I mean, my
I've never
account's
posted
so
anything
old.
to YouTube, but I have 111 subscriptions. So
Yeah. But you have to have so many videos posted because your first X amount. I think it's 5. They may have changed it since then. You can only upload up to 15 minutes, and then right now we're already at an hour and 10 minutes. So there's no way we could upload this. So I'm just going to upload it to mine, set up a playlist for just this podcast, and then we'll put it on the website because you could just either stream it there or I'll just take it directly to YouTube. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. So.
Copy that. We'll still have the audio version.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the audio version is going to be on the site to listen. You could download it directly from the site, and you could get it from iTunes. So very easy.
Look, and we've successfully plugged ourselves at the end of the show without even trying.
Nope, I haven't plugged it yet. Go to the site, 40somethingpodcast.com.
Yes, and you can follow us on Twitter at 40something podcast.
No, you can't.
What is it?
40-something show.
40-something show. That's right.
40-something
I've
podcast.
only been tagging everything I do in that in the last 7 days.
I wanted 40-something podcast. It's too long of a username for Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a limit on that.
Neither did I, and I did 40-something podcast, and I exceeded the character limit. So I had to go 40-something show.
Ah.
Yeah.
40-something show. Follow us on 40somethingshow.com. Anyway.
Nope. At 40-something show on Twitter. 40somethingpodcast.com.
Yeah. Just relive the 90s on our website.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
The idea I have to post the video, you'll be reliving the 90s as well. So
Real player.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Okay.
We can start it now and we can finish it in 2019 if we
Seriously.
that long.
So I'll start buffering now, and you'll get a little bit here, a little bit there, and so. Okay,
right,
Jerry.
Shut this shit down.
What's that?
Shut this shit down.
Yes. I want to say enjoy your drinking next weekend. I'm sure I'll get a couple of texts here and there.
Yeah. Hey, I'll post some pictures to the 40-something show Twitter page of me all smashed and all wrecked.
There you go. No news.
So the other day, a couple days ago, was the anniversary of me getting shit-faced on Growing Up Geek.
Oh, that was a horrible show.
Yeah, that was really stupid of me. But I had Cherokee Red vodka, and they were together.
The best was, I mean, you were so loud that I actually considered cutting you off at a certain point. And when you finally watched it, you texted me, you're like, man, I was an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember at one point I had a pit so bad I just hung up. I hung up, but I dropped out. All right. That's the end of this.
Jared, thanks for coming again.
Absolutely.
Okay. Not a problem. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Rate us. Love us. Hate us. We don't care. We'll still be here next.
Just comment. So
just comment. And we'll be here in 2 weeks again. So, guys, keep it cool. Keep it easy. We'll see you next time.